Everyone, it is currently the 25th of November 2014. Starting off with the ECMWF outlook here with the Meteorograph. You can see a little swirl just towards the east of Mindanao. This is Invest 93W. Still tracking off here towards the west at this time. Don't expect this to become a named storm system from JMA, but Pagasa could upgrade it to a tropical depression. If that was to happen, it would actually be called Tropical Depression Queenie. I know some of you were asking about that name. That would be the next name on the list for Pagasa. If that doesn't happen, though, this is going to be coming on shore regardless as a low pressure area. Definitely going to bring a lot of rainfall. And then back towards the east, there's another area which is going to be kicking up some precipitation basically by next week. And this one I really want to keep an eye on because by the 3rd into the 4th of December, it very well could be, I'm not saying a very severe storm at this time, but there is a threat, and I'll get to that in a second. First, let's talk about our low pressure area. Just that, according to the Japan Meteorological Agency, a low pressure area, pressure about 1,004 HPA. It hasn't really dropped a lot over the course of the past 24 hours. You can see here on the 24 to 48 hour outlook, they even drop where the exact area of this low is. Zoom in on the picture, you can see this, and really the low pressure center actually a little bit towards the west of the max convection. So this is definitely lopsided as far as its symmetricalness. It's definitely not there. We're still seeing some rotation. You can see the inflow coming in from the west, but not a lot of moisture coming in with that. So for this to rapidly develop over the course of the next 24 hours before it does move on shore Wednesday night into Thursday morning across eastern Mindanao, I don't see that happening. Now, with that said, it is going to bring the threat of some flooding and landslides. For example, let's take a look at the rainfall accumulation outlook. There's also the ECMWF, just noting I am using them based on the Weather Bell platform. But the big thing you want to note with this is that you can see the areas of the heaviest precipitation, northern Mindanao, Leyte, and Samar. Some areas here really could see upwards of 200 to 300 millimeters of total precipitation, and on top of that, about 50 millimeters per about 6 hours. So you get a lot of rain all at once, quite intense, and it really does bring that threat of flash flooding, especially as I mentioned these eastern locations. But even as we go ahead through Thursday afternoon to the evening hours, a lot of that rainfall works its way over there towards the west. So parts of Cebu really could see the rain, and then even extending off there towards the northwest and northern Palawan eventually. So this is really going to be one of those events. It doesn't have a defined center of circulation, so please do not ask me where is this coming on shore. The answer is probably going to be somewhere around Mindanao and eastern Visayas. I mean, you can see here from Pagasa, you have the low pressure center here, but look at where all the winds really are. It's due to the interaction with the northeast monsoon farther towards the north. So I don't really want to mention the center of circulation because the winds extend well to the north and the precipitation is just scattered all over the place. It's just a big blob of energy, to put it in non-technical terms. So let's take a look elsewhere out here across the western Pacific, because yes, of course, we are watching this area. You see a little swirl there, but look back here. You have some dryness in the atmosphere, and then behind that, it'll pop up here once it starts to develop and pushes off there towards the west. We have another area of high moisture content. Now that's Invest 94W. At this time, does not have anything really labeled on it outside of that. Models really have been quite pulling for it. For example, let's start off here with the GFS model outlook, and what we can see, you have our first low pressure area pushing across northern Mindanao, southern Visayas, and moves off there towards the west, brings widespread rainfall, the flooding as I mentioned. But then as we go ahead through Saturday and the Sunday of this coming weekend, now we're getting into the 1st and 2nd of December. Look at this. That thing really starts to spin up and moves across parts of Yap and Palau, and eventually really goes on the westerly track towards the Philippines. Now, this is the key thing I want you to keep in mind. You have this high pressure ridge farther off there towards the north. This is staying in place, guys. And I know that in the extended range with the GFS, it really starts to loop it off towards the north and east, but you're going to have a change in the dynamics for that to happen. The northeast monsoon, the Siberian high, is going to have to come in and maybe give way with an upper level trough. It has to be strong. That's what this is picking up on. But based on everything thus far, and you have to remember this is still very long range, the dynamics we're looking at really does not support any recurvature type of scenario. This is the ensemble model with the GFS. Every single run stays on a westerly track up to a point. GMC, NavGem, and GFS really agree on that as well with this ensemble outlook here. Those are really the few things we're looking at right now, and definitely going to keep an eye on this. Let's go ahead, scroll through here. You see on Tuesday and the Wednesday, that rain just pushes overhead Wednesday night into Thursday morning. It's going to be a wet day out across across the southern Philippines. I mean, I can't get around that. And then we have another weak low possibly by Saturday and Sunday down towards the south. It's going to be pushing through. And then eventually we can see back here towards the east another low pressure area, even from the ECMWF picked up. So it's one low after another. Even if these don't develop, guys, it is going to bring the rain. So we're going to be seeing, well, the threat possibly of some flooding out here, and that's going to be the big topic over the next several days. Even if we don't see a full-fledged storm, we're still going to be seeing a lot of moisture content come on shore, and that very well in itself could provide some problems. All right, guys, that is all for me today. Thanks again for watching here at westernpacificweather.com. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can always post them down there in the comment box below. Don't forget Japan. I know it's autumn out here, but we do have one low pushing through. But I think by next weekend, we do have another low coming ahead. And by the weekend, that's going to push overhead. So have an umbrella ready if you are out there. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And as always, stay safe.